it's Lisa Ingalls Witter, and I just wanted to shoot this little short video because I had this, met with a girlfriend last night for dinner, and we were having a conversation, and something that came up in the conversation I think is really pertinent to anybody who's on the path of spiritual awakening. If you've been practicing yoga, meditation for any amount of time, something came up in this conversation that I think is really, really pertinent. She's a really good friend of mine, and we actually meet monthly to have dinner. We meet at a restaurant, and so we gave our hugs to each other, and we both, sat down for dinner and all of that type of stuff. And it's like, what do you ask your friend when like, how are things going? What's up? What's going on? And she's like, the first thing she said to me was, you know what, Lisa, I am tired of being tired. That was like the first thing she said when I said, like, what's up? How's life? What's going on? I'm tired of being tired. I think we can all relate to that. But she's really busy. She's a therapist. She has her own private practice. She has 2 young girls. She's managing a lot in her life. And so our conversation goes on, and we're just talking about things, talking about life. And at some point she was asking me, well, what does your day look like, Lisa? Like, what do you do? Like, what is, like, when you wake up, what do you do? Like, what does your day look like? And I was telling her about my practice and how I've structured my day. And she's like, God, I would love to do that. I would love to meditate like you're able to meditate every day. And, but I can't. It's too crazy. My life, I don't have time. I don't have energy. Like she said, I'm tired of being tired. She's doing a lot of stuff all the time. And so she was just telling me, God, I get home, all I want to do, she told me, is I get home and all I want to do is lay on the couch and watch TV. And then these words spilled out of her mouth. She's like, and I dread going to sleep because I know I'm going to wake up to another nonstop day, another day of just the craziness of being tired. And, I've heard this before from many people. I don't think it's new for her, and I know for a lot of us, and I know I went through a period of time in my life when I was tired of being tired, and for a while I was a single mom, and that was really hard to get my shit together. But the truth is that there was actually an error in her thinking, in her logic, in her reasoning. Like her reasoning of, I can't do meditation, I can't get my shit together to meditate or to incorporate that into my life because I'm too busy and I'm too tired. And I hear this all the time for people. When I was a personal trainer 20 years ago, I used to hear it from my clients why they couldn't get out and do their daily exercise, or why they, couldn't follow their diet. It's no different when you're on the spiritual path. It's no different for meditation or any type of spiritual practice. So she had this thinking error going on, and her thinking error is that before she can meditate, she has to have time and she has to have energy. Now that's false thinking. So I just want to bring that up because I know a lot of people have this excuse for not beginning to do something in their life that we all know is good for us, whether it's diet, exercise, meditation, stopping smoking, whatever it is. We all have some type of excuse, and most often there's some type of thinking error in that excuse. So her first thinking error was that she needed to have X amount of time per day to meditate, that she needed to set aside 20 minutes in the morning, which she absolutely doesn't have, in order to meditate. And I want to kill that one right off the start, because first of all, she was comparing herself to me when she's asking me what my practice is. I'm in a really serious, rigorous meditation practice where I meditate for 2 hours a day. No, like that's not normal. Like a normal person doesn't do that. So first of all, she was comparing herself to me, which isn't a good thing to do. Second of all, she was thinking, even at the minimum, I have to do, you know, at least 20 minutes, even 10 minutes isn't even possible for me. And it's like, well, again, a thinking error, because you don't have to start at all with meditation with sitting. And I let her know, like, look, it's not about that. It's actually about beginning your practice in your daily life, in just how you're living, how you're showing up day in and day out with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So actually, my advice is always to begin, if you're thinking about going on this path of meditation, don't even begin with sitting. If you're like her and you're saying, I don't have time and I don't have energy, fine. You don't need to have time and have energy. Start with the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is where you can begin, because you can incorporate it into your daily life. You can just, it's easy to do. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, you can be going through your daily life and be aware during intervals during your day of what are your thoughts, what are your feelings, what are your reactions to the circumstances going on, what are your actions. That's it. Just become mindful of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings. Because here's the thing about meditation. You're not going to have a lot of success in meditation if you can't control your mind and your thoughts. That's sort of the basics of meditation, is to be able to control your thoughts. So what's sort of this really cool thing in Ashtanga yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga that Patanjali wrote about, is the way he has them listed out. And I learned this from a professor that I was learning Ashtanga yoga from, is that the 8 limbs actually begin with the outermost practices and move to the innermost practices, so that by the time that you get to the final limb of yoga, in Ashtanga yoga, the 8th limb, you're doing the innermost practices, but you don't start there. You actually start with the outermost practices. What are the outermost practices? Well, in yoga, they're the yamas and the niyamas, which are our ethics. And what are ethics? It's how we think, how we speak, how we act in our everyday life. It's the outermost aspect of our life. So I offer that, number one, as, you know, to counter that that thinking error of I need time and I need more time and I need more energy if I'm going to start to meditate. You don't need more time. You don't need more energy. All you need to do is start becoming aware of what are your thoughts, what are your words, what are your actions in your day in and day out interactions. And that doesn't take any time. It doesn't take any energy. All it does take is a little bit of awareness. So that's number one. So the second thing that I want to address on this is, my friend was saying, you know, she was giving me all the reasons why she couldn't meditate, she wanted to do it. I want to incorporate meditate. I want to be able to meditate, but I just can't do it. And she was giving me all these reasons, right? I don't have time. I don't have energy. I'm tired of being tired. A lot of us can relate to that. But I want to counter that with, instead of saying why you can't do something, we need to start shifting our mindset and thinking about why we absolutely must do that thing that it is we're saying we can't do. Whether it's meditation, whether it's eating better, whether it's exercising, or whatever it is in your life that you know you need to be doing, instead of thinking about all of the reasons why you can't do it yet, like I need to have the energy, I need to have the time. We already addressed those. You don't need to have the energy, you don't need to have the time. But number two, start thinking about why you must absolutely do this particular thing. So for instance, you might, instead of thinking why you can't meditate, Start thinking about why you must absolutely start meditating. Number one, why must I absolutely start meditating? Because I need to reclaim my energy. And I know that when I start incorporating meditation into my life, or just mindfulness into my life, I'm going to start reclaiming energy. You will. It's a subtle thing. It works at a very, very subtle level. I must absolutely start doing this because I'm being controlled by the outer circumstances of my life, and I need to regain control of how I respond to situations, circumstances, and events in my life. And by meditating or by having more mindfulness, I'm going to regain control in the outer circumstances of my life. We know that this is true. Meditation and mindfulness will give me clarity of mind. Meditation and mindfulness will start to give me inner peace. Those are all things that I want to have, and that in order to have those things, I must meditate. I must have more mindfulness in my life. So those are the two things that I really wanted to address that came up in a conversation with a great friend of mine. She's a wonderful woman. But I think that what she brought up is something that is true of so many people. We can find all the reasons why we can't do something. And in this case, I'm specifically talking about meditation and mindfulness. But we need to, number one, understand that you take tiny baby steps, little baby steps. Begin with mindfulness. Don't even try to meditate at first. Start noticing your thoughts, your words, your actions, and how you are in your outer life. Have awareness around it. Bring presence to your life. That doesn't require any more time or any more energy than you are already consuming in your life. And then second, look at your thinking errors and start thinking about why must you start incorporating this into your life, as opposed to why you can't do it. What are all the benefits it's going to bring to you when you do that thing that you're not going to get in any other way? All right, so hopefully that was helpful to you guys. And if you like this video, please do like it, share it, comment on it. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. You'll get notified of more videos like this with helpful hints and tips for your path to spiritual awakening. And make sure you go over to Facebook and check me out on Facebook, like my Facebook page, and we can stay connected there too. Thanks so much, guys. See you later. Bye.